WWE news. Let's hit the break. So, The Rock's appearance at WWE Bad Blood was simply, this is per Fightful Select. We're just diving right in, okay? The Rock's appearance at WWE Bad Blood was simply to get him on screen. No. And WWE didn't have a major direction or plot point they were furthering. God, see, that's the work. A year ago, they're like, okay, The Rock is going to be at Mania, and he's just going to sporadically show up, and that's the promo The Rock cut after Mania. He's like, you never know when I'm going to show up. You don't know what my motives are. You never know when I'm going to be here, but I'm going to come, and I'm watching everything, and I'm going to come. Pause. No, I'm watching Meltzer in Tokyo. Oh, no, but, I'm going to be around. Oh my God, that was so stupid. Yeah, the plot point is just him being like, hey, I'm here, and it could just work for his schedule. So that's what this whole thing is. However, he's on the board of directors or whatever the guys. He has a vested interest. He has a personal and financial business interest in being involved in these WrestleManias. And so, yeah, we don't need The Rock on every episode of Raw. They proved that last time. So we got to chill, enjoy when we get The Rock, because it might be less than 10 times. You know what I mean? That we actually get him in the ring or like being involved to where he's like final boss saucing on everybody. Yeah, that's all I can say. Just everyone chill. And then anyone reporting that The Rock is 100% out of WrestleMania 41 isn't being genuine. And I quote tweeted this, and I was like, so Fightful's not being genuine? Because they didn't say 100%, but like even Sean was like, well, this is what the report is. Like he was responding to people questioning The Rock and being like, no, the report's been this for a while. Like he's not expected to be in, and this being, sorry, I forgot to mention, being that The Rock won't be at WrestleMania, or he is not planned to be at WrestleMania. We all know he is. He has been for so long. So The Rock isn't going to like let any of these people know his business. If they know if he's going to be at WrestleMania or not, then they also have to know, like literally, what movie he's filming currently or whatever. Like there's no way like you have to have your finger on the pulse of his schedule, and no one knows his schedule. Everyone's like, oh, he's shooting fast, whatever. Okay, they just bang his scenes out in 3 weeks. You just 1 month shooting The Rock. And or whatever, like they figure out how to do this. Like they have it down. The Rock has it down to a science. He'll be at WrestleMania, guys. Even if he walks down and just whoops some ass with the belt, like he'll be there. And then people will go, well, we were saying in a match capacity. That will be the spin. No, we meant like he won't be there like wrestling someone. Just there whipping, like, just an appearance. We didn't know, he wouldn't be there for an appearance. That's what it'd be. So Fightful basically flip-flopping like a fish on there. The ratings are in 593,000 viewers, a 0.13 and an 18 to 49 in the key demo. Or pardon me, an 18 to 49, 0.13 in the 18 to 49. I hate all these dumb point whatever's right. But the 586 viewers, and then they had a 0.4 in the key demo, more than NXT for Dynamite on Wednesday, and NXT on Tuesday beat Dynamite on Wednesday. Dynamite's struggling to even get 600,000 viewers, which is insane. Yeah, Robo Jake. So yeah, I don't know. NXT kicking their ass. I mean, who gives a? We're about to see like 550 become the new norm for Dynamite. They're giving up on it. You see the sickos finally turning around too. They can't help it.
Did you hear that there's no more Rampage after the last Friday in December?
Wow. I'm glad that Cardona got that big pop in Ring of Honor, and then he could go be on one of the last Rampages ever. That's great booking and great, like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Holy, but they're done in December. What they're Jake?
Yeah, I think whatever the last Friday is in December, I think like the 27th. I heard it on the wrestling news today. Yeah, Friday the 27th is the last scheduled Rampage, and there's nothing set for January.
So a moment ago, we talked about how Fightful said that anyone reporting The Rock isn't at WrestleMania isn't being truthful or whatever isn't being genuine. And then here's another report from Sap. So he's literally pulled the Meltzer here, and Fightful said both outcomes here in different ways. and have said people aren't being genuine for both things, I feel like. But The Rock is not planned to work WrestleMania, and WWE is moving forward with creative plans without him. However, WWE is interested in using him should his schedule allow him to work it. But then before we just read a tweet where he's like, oh, he's not, he's not supposed to be here and whatever. I don't know, man. It's just craziness. They're flip-flopping around like fish, and I think it's hilarious. Same with the Punk thing, and I'm going to get some DMs over this one. Watch. So breaking news. Jesse Ventura makes his return to the broadcast announce table. Let's go for Saturday night main event next Saturday night. Saturday night main event PWT, dude. SNME PWT. Conan. Yeah. Right. You guys tune in because we're going to be watching that. The Body will be on commentary. So we better all mind our P's and Q's on the Bill Simmons podcast, famously quoted as saying AEW's discount WWE the other week, which is crazy. Triple H says that nobody reps Saturday night main event like the governor. Welcome home, Jesse. And I wonder if Anthony Agogo's like, hey, the governor's me gimmick, bruv.
What's the difference between governor and governor?
So we have a new show planned, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it is called with A&E, and it's they announced the expansion of its programming partnership. So even though WWE is going to Netflix, they're still doing with A&E, which I love. So we'll include the debut of a new competition series, WWE LFG Legends and Future Greats. So is it like a competition show between legends and is it like a tough enough
like
type thing?
Yes. It's like a tough enough where the legends are like their trainers, like
so
Undertaker.
It's like TUF. So essentially what it is it's like tough, except for it's LFG for WWE. So UFC famously has the show The Ultimate Fighter, and what they do is they get two legends or two really like world-renowned talents, and they coach two teams of people head-to-head in challenges, but also there's a fight at the end of every episode, and the winner advances or whatever. So I wonder how they're going to do this, if they're going to make them work matches at the end of every episode. Like maybe the people who come onto this show aren't like Alt Jake and I are watching Tough Enough season 1 over on PWT Patreon, and it's like on Tough Enough they're all rookies, right? You have one or two guys like Chris Nowinski trained with Killer Kowalski. You got one or two guys like that, right? But LFG, I wonder if it's like people who've like maybe even been on the indies, people who are part of the WWE ID program, maybe people, and then it's a way to showcase personality, get to know talent, and then they already have skills, and then they make them like work matches. The same way on Tough, they get fighters who are already like, you don't know about them, but they're already skilled. Like some of them have 10 fights, 6 fights, some of them have 2 fights, but
I
that's
don't know
why
who the contestants
it's
will
interesting.
be.
So, but what were you saying though? The Undertaker, Mickey James. I have
Undertaker,
the picture,
Mickey
actually.
James, Bubba, and somebody else. There's another one too.
How about Bubba
Ray
man?
and one other one? There's like 4 coaches.
Yeah, I have a picture of it somewhere here. I think. No, I don't.
Yeah, I've seen the picture too.
Yeah. So it's Undertaker, Bubba, Mickey, and someone else. One other person. I can't remember who. Oh, Booker T. That's Booker right, T. Dude. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm pumped for this show, I guess. We'll watch it. Maybe we'll just watch it every week when their episode drops. We'll watch it on Patreon with you guys or something, because you can't EFAP it on YouTube. So here's some Dave Meltzer. Here's a Dave Meltzer dumb moment of the week, I guess. Now, it might be dumb. It might not. I quote tweeted this, and I was like, bro, Dave is just fantasy Mark booking this in hindsight. We really don't know. Right? Like anyone could just make this claim, and Dave's wrong all the time, so you can't trust this. But Dave says, the original plan for the New Day was reportedly for them to turn heel by choosing Odyssey over Big E as E's replacement. So Dave says when Odyssey Jones came in, they were going to tease issues with them not getting along, but it would end up with Kofi and Woods going heel by choosing Jones and having him publicly replace E. But then Jones got fired and the whole thing was put on hold.
Okay,
but was
maybe
it put on hold because they kept the storyline going like every week, and then they just capped it off. So I don't think anything was put on hold. Dave just says, but like maybe that was gonna happen. But like it's easy. I could just make that up. Oh, you guys remember Heidenreich? Yeah, he was actually gonna become the new Kane and retire him like in a casket match. I could just say that and like no. So I don't know. Dave is a dummy for just saying that now. Hey, you're the hot news. You have sources. Why didn't you say this then? Why are you saying that? Because then he was just like, oh yeah, something happened with Jones. It's curious situation. And then all this time later, after the Big E thing happens, he's like, oh yeah, well, they were supposed to actually pick Odyssey. Well, why the f- didn't you know that back then? Because if the whole thing was put on hold or the whole thing was known back then you should have known it if your sources were telling you correct info. But instead, Dave didn't know what was going on with the Odyssey. We covered the Odyssey better because Dave never talked about, like, we read the messages of the girl being like, he took me out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So we've covered that. Like, Dave wasn't talking about none of that. So I don't know, man. And I ain't even a journalist or any of that type of goofy, So, yeah, Dave just holding L's either way. I always find a way to give him an L, the spin, the Phil Marks spin, as I call it, right?
Hey, I trust Phil Stoops more than I trust Dave Meltzer, so.
Yeah, bro. And Dave talks about the spin that he puts on this, right? So CM Punk is mentoring NXT talent in and out of the ring, reveals Trick Williams. I didn't meet CM Punk until after the rumors about his character were brought about from other places. AEW. All I'm going to say is that dude, Punk, man, good dude, like solid. You can just tell when some people are just genuine, and he's very genuine. He gives us real advice too. Talks about how to handle yourself in the ring, outside the ring, with everything it takes to become a superstar. He's been very helpful for a lot of us. Man, right there, it's like, bro, that's what we're talking about, right? Like, he went to AEW and he realized, holy man, what happened? Like, these kids don't even know how to act. And we have news on that, by the way. We have Mark Henry. What a stacked PWT, goddammit. We have Mark Henry talking about the backstage culture of AEW in a bit as well. So, Punk saw that and he had his rude awakening too. And he was like, holy, and he's like, I got to go save pro wrestling. And he went to WWE and he's just involved in NXT. Like, I get it, And Shawn Michaels had that come to Jesus moment too. He's like, holy, he had to have, because look at what he's doing now. And look at how the WWE culture is. It's not like they're not acting like Shawn and Brett were, or Punk and Jericho were, and So
well, did you see that video? It was a video that WWE released of like Punk training with Trick Williams, Lexus King, and you could see it then. Like, he was just so happy that they were like even wanting his advice and wanting his attention, because nobody backstage wanted his advice in AEW. Because why would you want advice from a veteran?
Yeah, and I remember when Regal left AEW, and he was like, he put that tweet out like after people were accusing him of shit. He's like, no, like Tony put out a false narrative basically, and he was like, dude, I would be in the ring, and if people didn't want to come, or like it was Tully, someone or Arn, someone allegedly saying that talent. Regal.
You nailed it.
It was Regal. He was saying like talent wouldn't come train, and then Dax FTR responded, and he's like, with all due respect, sir, I was there every time you. And it's like, Dax, you're not the people he's talking about. You don't need to learn how to wrestle. You already know. You should be teaching these people how to do properly. You're not the one who needs to be at the ring with Regal early to work on your, like, how to sell and your headlock takeovers. There's other people who need to be doing this stuff, and that's what he's talking about.
Pins.
Like the young people, bro. Yeah, it's like, dude, we get it, FTR. You love wrestling, but like, dog, he's not talking about you, Yeah. So that's just some of the cringeity, the cringe-lariousness, I guess. Speaking of like hilarity, Jacob Fatu responds to a fan and tells him his mama S's some D.
You will never Solo. I acknowledge you, Solo. I acknowledge you. Shut up. You suck, Jacob. Tell your mama sucked dick.
Yo, he said your mama sucked dick, bro. Leave that one aside.
Tell your mama sucked
dick. Yes. See, off camera. Off camera for the socials. Don't have MJF being like, what did your mom? SD's in hell. She did. Like, it's just all this cringe, immature stuff. Like Jacob off TV. Hey, dude, your mama sucks some D. You know what I mean? That's great heel work there. WWE has announced a transfer window between SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, which will see the GMs discuss moving superstars across brands. Love it. Tonga Loa also got, quote unquote, a torn bicep out indefinitely. Now, I'm going to drop a little X-Files, man. We heard about the broken toe, right? Homeboy jumped off the cell. We saw the two ankles crickety crack, right? Bronson Reed jumps off the cell, or the War Games, right? Hold on a second, though. You mean to tell me Tonga, who they're having this guy wrestle so little, like he was the guy to go out second last on the Floodline, bro. Like, they're not letting him wrestle that much. They took the belts off him right away. They found a way for Owens to gouge his eye, etc., etc. Where did he all he has to do is put his arm in a sling, right, to fake this thing. Where did he tear his bicep in this match? And they showed a picture of like, oh, look, there's a cut.
The picture of the bicep looked like it hurt. Yeah.
I know, but listen, bro, they could have photoshopped that. Like that's like nothing. Yeah. Like, oh, here's a picture of a bicep. That could have been his last injury for all we know. I mean, listen, if it is legit, shout out Tonga, but you guys, they've been protecting this dude for a long time since he came into WWE. Maybe they think they don't want to overexpose him, but they need him for the story. Let's be honest. Like, can't have GODs without GODs. WWE's official video of the Carmelo Hayes and Nick Aldis backstage segment on last night's episode of SmackDown specifies that Carmelo Hayes will face a new superstar next week, a new one. The description of the video goes on to describe Hayes' upcoming opponent as SmackDown's newest acquisition. So Obafemi. But it's like, dude, who is it? Could Penta. It be? No, it's not. Or maybe Penta on SmackDown. He could get back before. Or is it Hikuleo? No, but listen, I like Penta because WWE would look like such good guys if they brought Penta in when everyone knows. And Ray Phoenix piped up. We're going to cover it on the show, folks. Ray Phoenix spoke out about AEW. He used some very, very harsh words. And I
would think it would be Penta because then Melo could still be a heel. I feel like, if it's Hikuleo, it might be I don't know if he would be the heel.
Dude, if Penta comes out, the crowd pops. Do you think they know the Cero Miedo? Do you think they know it when he hits it in the ring? If they do, it's game over, and Tony Khan will cry, dude, and have a heart attack.
Tony Khan.
Because and they would be such baby faces in the social media world, for bringing him in with what Ray Phoenix is saying, like speaking out. And but yeah, SmackDown's newest acquisition. Chat, let me know who you guys think. I saw this right before I came on the show.
I have a counterpoint on Penta.
Yeah,
hasn't Penta already said he doesn't want to go anywhere without his brother?
Yeah, but like we're at a point now where Ray's just getting, and it's like, what's Penta gonna do? Not make a living and not like whatever. If WWE goes, look, we'll just bring you in, and then we have a new story, and your brother will come in eventually. Why not just do
under
that?
Contract?
Right, but
free agent?
No. Penta's a free agent. Penta's 100%. Yeah, as of like yesterday or the day before.
Okay,
he's even removed. AEW released a statement saying he's removed from their roster page. And so
thank you.
Future Endeavor, they're just like he's removed from our roster page or whatever they said. Very I don't know, man. At least when WWE Future Endeavors people, man, it puts some hype around their name. I always say that.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry, dude. It's good you asked the question. There's probably a lot of people who didn't know that,
Yep.
A lot of people listening who probably didn't even know that. He's like official free agent, He's supposed to be in Mexico tonight at some sort of taping, is what allegedly. Here is Alfred Konowa at This Is Nasty, Forbes writer, friend of the show, stand-up comedian extraordinaire on Jaida Parker.
She said the N-word on live TV because Jaida Parker is her. My girl Jaida put the N in NXT, no hard R. Check this out.
Take him down! Now! I know you hear me. Take him down!
It's like it slipped, and by the time she realized it, she was already 2 G's in. Mind you, this is 27 years after Booker T let the N-word slip in one of the greatest promos of all time.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
And she cut this promo right in front of Booker T, a proud papa passing the nigga torch, which I heard was ignited by Harlem Heat. Jada went on to cut this profanity-laced promo, except this time the cursing was on purpose. Jada got to say on network TV and on NXT.
Which was crazy. Now, I love Alfred's breakdown because the key thing, forget all the women's Roman Reign talk and all that. What it is just like she's so real, and that's what I said like the first time I saw her. I'm sure everyone picks up on it. Obviously, you can't. It's undeniable. She's just so real, authentic. Her look is authentic. The way she carries herself is authentic. She's just herself, and it's real. You feel like she's real in everything she's saying. It's just the word real, That's the best way to sum it up. You believe all of her promos. You believe she'll actually fight you. You believe she'll smack you in the face with a brick. Her gear's good. She has a great look. Everything about her. Like, I think she's ready to go main roster personally, but also just milk her in NXT for a while, Just do what you can with that. For a couple years and then call her up. She's got all this time. Big,
there's no need to rush anything.
Yeah, and I just like that Alfred he really drives that point home too. Like, she is just so authentic and real, and that's what everyone's got to understand. That's what makes her great, Lola Vice great. More than just, them booties. I get it. Cheeks cheeking, peaches peachin', peaches delight, as Brendan Schaub would say. But but yeah, it's really just their authenticity and their realness about them, right? And Lola's real because she's really a shoot fighter. Jada's real because she will really put a brick in that face,
Which is TV PG because Jaida is her, and WWE knows it.
We gotta run this back. And baby! Sorry, leaving this damn ring!
Raw is having a women's IC title tournament right now. Jada should be the women's IC champion. SmackDown is having a women's U.S. title tournament right now. Jada should be the women's U.S. champion too. She's the realest wrestler in the world, and her delivery is so believable. It's like she never found out that pro wrestling is a work, and it happened right after.
Dude, for real. Amazing work by Alfred Konowan. Ladies and gentlemen, that round of applause for WWE news.